So I figured before this thing gets weird, or maybe weirder, now is probably a good time. We should probably talk for a minute.
Shut your mouth.
So what's up? This is Metal Mailbag Friday. This is basically a looser corner of HeadBangers History where I answer questions that don't always, I don't know, they don't always fit cleanly into an episode, or honestly, questions I just keep getting asked over and over and over and over. Stuff about metal, hardcore, the old days, the channel, me, whatever. This isn't going to be a big thesis statement here, just thinking out loud. And yeah, this first one's kind of like an intro, but it's going to be every Friday, so we're starting mellow. So question 1, submitted by me.
So what is Metal Mailbag Friday supposed to be?
That's fair, because I'm still kind of figuring this out myself, but the idea is this. Not everything about metal history needs to be tightly edited. It doesn't have to be a tightly edited, researched piece. A lot of this stuff lives in conversations, half-remembered stories, scenes overlapping, things that felt one way that time and look different now. It just looks different. This is where that kind of stuff goes. Also, and I think this is important, this is where I could be wrong in public. Because God forbid I make a mistake in a video or in my research. The accusations, the failures. But here I could be uncertain. Because if you lived through this stuff, especially the late 70s into the 80s, the memory gets fuzzy. The bands blur together. Timelines collapse. Sometimes I'll say something and then immediately think, oh, wait, no. That might not have been 1984. Maybe it was 82. And that's okay here. And honestly, I'm 56. I was there for a lot of it, not all of it, but enough that I don't want this channel to just be a history lesson. Fucking snooze fest. This is more like leaning on the club wall after the show, talking it through. That's the vibe I'm aiming for. So question 2.
Are you actually into modern metal and hardcore, or are you just stuck in the 80s?
Okay. Ow. That hurts. But also, yeah, I get this one a lot. I came up in the late 70s and early 80s. That stuff hardwired my brain. I don't think you ever can undo that. Your first real scene, your first shows, the first time music feels like it belongs to you. I think it sticks. So yeah, that era is always going to be my reference point. But with that said, I don't think being rooted in that time means you stop listening. It just means you hear everything, I don't know, through a filter, through any filter. Sometimes I love newer bands. Sometimes I just don't get it. But sometimes I think I get it. Does that make any sense? And then I realize I'm just projecting old ideas onto something that actually is very different. So yeah, it gets confusing. But hold on, let's back up. What I mean is, I'm not chasing relevance. I'm listening because I'm curious. I'm not listening because I feel like I have to keep up. And there's stuff happening now, and it's incredible. There's also stuff that isn't for me. Both could be true. So if you're expecting me to pretend I hear music the same way I did when I was 19, yeah, that's not going to happen. But I don't think that's a flaw. I was fortunate enough to live through both scenes, but my heart was always more metal. I knew hardcore, saw it live, liked some of it, but I was never really in it. I didn't shave my head. I didn't join a movement. I was never throwing elbows in combat boots. I was always kind of standing off to the side watching, and that's how I still watch concerts. It's so weird. My kids hate it. So question 3.
Okay, real talk. Are you actually a real person, or are you some kind of AI?
Yeah, this one. This one comes up all the fucking time. I think part of it is that I show up as a B-roll in the other series. On Monday, Heavy History, and on the Hardcore Files on Wednesdays. I'm kind of just there, silent, popping up between other people talking. And I guess that makes me seem a little unreal. I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking. Maybe it's the lighting. Maybe it's my face. Maybe it's my voice. Maybe I just have resting archival footage energy. But no, I'm very real. I am. I'm 56. My knees hurt. I forget why I walked into rooms. I lived through the cassette era, the vinyl era, the CD era, the burned CD in the Sharpie case. An AI would never, ever romanticize rewinding a tape with a pencil and also admit what a pain in the fucking ass it was. Also, if I were AI, I'd probably be more confident. I wouldn't stop mid-sentence wondering if I'm remembering a year wrong. I wouldn't think, wait, did that band break up before that tour or after? And I do that constantly. That's not a bug, it's a whole point. This is memory, not a database. So yeah, not artificial, just slightly worn in. In fact, the only AI you will see on my channel is the back-end channel bullshit, the analytic garbage, the shit you guys don't give a fuck about anyway. That's where I use AI, because that just sucks, the typing out description of the video and the chaptering and stuff. And I'm not an AI naysayer by any means. AI is great. I mean, technically I use it as a Google, I guess. But I use it wrongly. I use it poorly. I'm old. What do you want from me? Leave me alone. So yeah, that's Mailbag Friday. Mailbag Friday. And I'm going to do this every Friday because it puts my face out there. It lets me be me. I've tried numerous things on the Friday slot, and I can't find what works with you fuckers.
So I Googled how to deal with difficult people.
But if you got questions about metal, about hardcore, about the old days, about the channel, or about why I always seem like I'm thinking about something else, just drop them. No pressure. We'll keep it loose. And yeah, we'll see where this goes. I don't mind doing stuff like this. I love the podcast form anyway. But I'm Fred Carroll. This is HeadBangers History. Enjoy your fucking weekend, you metalhead motherfuckers. I'm not AI. I'm not AI.
The artificial intelligence project you mentioned.